Hello everyone, I'm back to the second webinar. My name is Eddie Hong and I'm responsible for nGen program. How was your first webinar? I hope you had a lot of help by using nGen in your project. As announced, I would like to tell you about creating drawings using nGen and drawing programs for still structure. Then let's get started. The table of contents is as follows. First, I will account for modeling for still structure, then explain the function of creating a drawing including quantities, and arrange the automatically generated drawings in the sheet. Lastly, I will tell you how to set and apply the template in the drawing. In Chapter 1, I am going to explain the modeling overview and the important points in the modeling when creating drawings for the still structures. In particular, I will complement how to set the grid system and joints in detail. This is the gable frame model of still structure that will be used in today's webinar. Grid is important to create a drawing in the Midas drawing program. The Y direction exists from line 1 to line 5. In the X direction, there are A to H lines. It is composed of columns, girders, and truss members in the entire structure. And there are 3 level grids: 0, 8.5 meter, and 10 meter. If you look at the model with rotation, you can see that the left and right sides are symmetric. The head of main column is 8.5 meter, and the level corresponding to the top is 10 meter. Let's go to the Model tab menu in the work tree and look at the grid information. You can check on or off to check the grid information in the view window. If you take the mouse over on the tree menu, you can see the highlighted part in the view window. I will delete the existing grid set by right-clicking it. The reason is to extract the grid from the model. In the Structure tab of the main menu, first, click on the Define Modify function. This is more efficient to use before starting the modeling for the first time. So it is created by the user directly inputting each X, Y, and level grid information in the GUI below. Click Auto Grid Generator to run the function. In the dialog box, check the parameters set by default and check off the plate and check on the sub-column member. If you extract after checking off the method, it will be previewed in real time in the view window. If you look at the preview, it looks like grid has been extracted as I thought. However, it seems that the grid for the top level has been omitted. I will create an additional level grid for this part. First, in the dialog box, click the checked button to execute extraction. If you are not sure of the level grid information of the top, you can select the member and check the Z direction coordinates of the geometry information. The Z direction coordinate of the selected member can be checked in the property windows of the tree menu. The coordinates information in the Z direction is confirmed as 10 meter for the start point and 8.5 meter of the end point. Right-click on the tree menu and click Modify. Let's create a 10 level grid. Click the L icon in the dialog box and input the 10 meter. Add level and name information respectively. After clicking Rename at the bottom of the dialog box, check whether the information has changed in the view window. If it is confirmed, as I mentioned earlier, it is recommended to create grid information in order to automatically generate the drawing of the still structure. Next, I will explain the shape offset function. If you check on off the shape offset view function in the mini toolbar, you can see that the section offset and cutback are applied to the models. This is essential for detailed and accurate representation of the drawing. First, when you see the end point of the subcolumn, the shape is accurately cut back to the lower flange of the main gutter. Of course, if you check off the toolbar, it becomes the center point modeling, that is structure model view for analysis and design. If you check on again, it becomes the construction shape, that is shape offset view. The shape offset view is set up by using generate shape offset function. Click reset function to apply the function again. After selecting all members, click the plus icon to apply. Click the generate function of the shape offset group in the main menu again. After selecting all members, click the plus icon in the GLUI below to apply. The shape offset provides section offset, start and offset, and cutback. Let's zoom in and check the applied shape offset again. Currently, it is a model for the structural analysis of the center state. When the shape offset view is turned on, three functions are applied to automatically the construction shape. The geometry you see now will be applied when creating a drawing. If you look into the section offset of the column and gutter member are applied to the center top. Let's show only a few members. After selection, right click and click show only. At this time, confirm the end point of the brace member. When the member is clicked and end offset is cut back, so shape is connected to lower part of the flange of the gutter. However, the center point for the analysis in the form of the single line. You can also check the brace on the other side. As I said, the shape now will be displayed in the 2D drawings that will be generated later. The following is the member of the subcolumn. Other members seem to have been offset according to the shape I intended. Next, I will tell you what the criteria are the start and end points of member. Each member has a member axis. You can check it by clicking the icon in the mini toolbar. If you turn off the thickness of the section and check, there is direction pointed by x-axis as red color. The direction pointed by the arrow becomes the end point and the other side becomes the start point. Details of the shape offset information can be checked in the Properties window under the worktree. The direction of this member axis can be changed in the direction part. If you actually changed it, you can see that the axis has been modified in reverse. You can also change the individual color of the member. The fireproofing function of steel members can also be added in the Properties window. This is the most important shape offset information. Looking at the section offset information, the selected girder is set to the center top by the algorithm of the program. If the user wants to change the different setting, change the offset point item. If you change it to another option, the shape of the section offset will be modified accordingly. Next, I will tell you how to change the strong and weak axis of the member. To change the rotation of the beta angle for each member, edit the setting of rotation from 0 to 90. You can see that the outer plane axis of the member has changed. This is an important setting when calculating design member force, such as moments, so it must be carefully modified. Let's set it while confirming the name of each member. Check on member name. When you select a member, the name of the member is checked together. Next, I will explain the callback function. The endpoint of the member is called back by 153 mm. This means that the distance from the center of the column member to the edge of the flange is 153 mm. The criteria of used member as the cutback of the beam 2 girder member is the column 2 member. Users can also change this. If the brace is a cutback reference member, the girder will be cut due to the brace member. Next, we will modify the endpoint of the brace member. If you look at the member axis, you can see that this part is endpoint. First, if you change the section offset, it will change according to the setting. Assuming that the brace member are connected to the gusset plate, we will modify reflect the coordinate system in the jet direction. If you input minus 90 mm, it moves in the global minus jet direction. Let's move it in the y direction as well. Also, if you select a member, only the shape is changed, and the position of the structure center of the unless can be checked in the form of the single line. Of course, the shape view you see now will be expressed when creating a drawing on the drawing program. We will return to the original shape offset. Press the mouse wheel to execute the ISO view and Ctrl A command to display entire members. Up to now, we have looked at the modeling overview and how to set up the grid, the types of the shape offset, and how to set them in detail in the properties window. This shape offset should be exported to 3D BIM model, and then provides export functions to Tekla and Revit, which are most commonly used BIM product. A webinar related to BIM interface is planned for next month. We hope that you will also attend this webinar to help you with your project. That's it for the first step. From now on, I will explain how to create a floor plan, elevation drawing, member list, and quantity calculation. Actually, this method was explained once in the first webinar, but it is important, so I will tell you it again as a review. In addition, in the case of still drawing, it can be created not only as a single line but also as a double line. I will explain how to set this up. Finally, I will explain how to calculate the quantity by considering the cutback section in connection with the model. I would like to remind you our software composition. There are two configurations that are nGen and drawing. The first is nGen, which can perform structure analysis and design. The second is Midas drawing, which can do CAD like AutoCAD or automatically generate structural drawings by recognizing nGen information. Midas drawing is alternative CAD and information CAD are possible at the same time. From now on, I will generate drawings after confirming the settings for the still structure modeling. The first tab is the column layout, and the second tab consists of the plan tab. Please check the key information and composition of the drawing set below. Then click the Generate Drawing icon to create the drawing. The Midas drawing program is opened. As mentioned in detail from the previous webinar, Midas drawing provides three main modes. These are template mode, drawing mode, and CAD mode. Right-click on mouse and copy the current template. I'm copying the template that will be used for today's webinar so that I can modify it when I intend to use it. I will define the rename again by right-clicking the mouse. The next important thing is that set to current function. You can create a structure drawing with the template. When it is set, you can see that the webinar template is activated in yellow color. Drawing mode is blank because there are no automatically generated structure drawing yet. From now on, we will create a structure drawing in the Generated Drawing tab of the main menu. It was explained a lot previous webinar, so I think you will be familiar with it now. Please note that Midas drawing also has the ability to export to SketchUp 3D model file. First, let's create a structure design overview. Click on the design overview function to create it by clicking on the appropriate location. Generate information, design code, and applied material information can be confirmed. Next, click Structure Plan from the main menu to create a floor plan drawings. Go to the main tab of floor plan and check on all. It is a process in which all the information for generating drawings is transferred from nGen to drawing. When you have all the information, place 4 floor plan drawings. Click twice for placement. The first click to select a location for placement and the second click for the spacing of the drawings. Let's check the laid out floor plans. You can see the steel grade and there is a group name. You can see that it is the elevation plus 0 meter floor plan. At the top right, you can check the list of members with region. If you look at another elevation of floor plan, you can see that the members are created as double lines except the brace. I checked all up to the top elevation 10 meter. In the last webinar, I mentioned that there are two main ways to generate the section drawing. In fact, since grids already has been created in the modeling, so it is recommended to use the axis offset method. If you do not create cross-sectional view of the spatial position when generating the section drawing of the steel structure. First, select the red center grid line in column 1 on the floor plan. Then press the spacebar on the keyboard and set the visual range with the mouse. Once the section is extracted and place it in the appropriate location. In the section drawing, the rest of the members except for the brace were printed as a double lines. Also, check the layers. Horizontal beams are arranged according to TOS. Each member group name is also displayed. Section offset and start end offset of the members are displayed in accordance with the modeling information. Another section drawings will be created, but if you use the same function repeatedly, press the spacebar once again. At this time, I will select the column A grid and extract the section drawing. After selecting in the same way, set the visual range. This is the generated section drawing. It is also possible to check the members connected in the longitudinal direction from the across direction. You can check the information about the level. You can see the notation of the grid column. You can create this part differently when you create it. I will explain how to modify later in the template mode. In addition, let's create a section drawing of another line. It is the same way to create it. You just need to remember this process. Spacebar, select grid, set the visual range, space 5 insert point. You can see that the section drawing and marking method in column A are the same. The thickness of the upper and lower flanges are expressed as a double line. Click the Drawing Manager function in the main menu and change the setting from the double line to single line. In the Structure Plan category, you can choose between single and double selection. Let's select with the single by replacing. Similarly, modify the Structure section item. Other layers can be set according to the display option. You can change detailed settings for member, region, hatch at the below area. Click the OK button to apply the changed option in the dialog box. Let's create 4 floor plans again with single line. Click on the appropriate location to place it and click again to set the spacing between drawings. You can see that all the generated members are displayed in single line. The strong and weak axes of the members are shown, and pin and moment joints symbols are also expressed. You can also check the corresponding member group name. You can check the breadth by turning off the selected layer object. In the same way, let's create a selection by extracting it. First, it is section drawing of grid column A. All members are expressed as a single line. You can also check the joint symbol. Layers can be turned on/off at any time. The symbol for strong and weak axis is also expressed on the girder and column members. Of course, you can also check the information on the rival grid. The drawing sheet you see now is a drawing sample used in real project. Today, I will explain the function of completing the drawing using this sheet. First, you need to bring this sheet to the Midas drawing program you are currently using. Drag and drop the corresponding DWG CAD file to bring it. You can see that the sample drawing sheet. Write the text SH in the command line to register the sheet shown in the view window. When the dialog box appears, input a name and match the scale. Set the base point and block respectively and click the OK button. Go to the Draw Library tab on the work tree. Please move to the sample sheet from the window drawing object to project drawing object by using drag and drop. By drag and drop from the tree menu, you can always bring the sheet and place the drawing. We will also move the default sheet provided by the IT. Various seat size and seat types are shown. Go back to the Window tab in the work tree. The current mode is CAD mode. Select all drawings created in drawing mode while holding down Shift and bring them to CAD mode by drag and drop. Now, place the imported drawings in the proper position on each sheet. In this case, use the move function. Since it is in CAD mode, you can use it like AutoCAD from now on. Let's arrange other created drawings in order. You can adjust scale information. If you do not modify the scale, you may prepare for various sizes in advance. Finally, let's create member list and quantity in Excel format. Double-click the drawing mode on the tree menu again, and click the Generate Member List function. If you move to the Still tab in the dialog box, you can check the list of members to be created. Check the members in the Created List table. Next, let's create the calculation for bill of materials. Click Generate Bill of Material on the main menu, then click the OK button in the dialog box. The quantity will be created in Excel file format. You can check it after a little loading time. If you look at the sheet below of the Excel file, it is largely divided into two sheets. First, calculate the quantity of steel type 1 when modeled as the center line of the structure. On the other hand, the sheet of steel type 2 is calculated by the quantity according to the shape offset which cutback is applied. First of all, if you check the total weight in type 1, it was calculated as around 51 tons. But the total weight in type 2 was calculated as 48.8 tons. The total amount is not much, but you can see the difference. The applied scale factor amount is an additional quantity considering surcharge. Because it is an Excel file, you can use the filter function to classify and check the quantity according to the steel section. From now on, I will enter the CAD mode again and explain the output. Input the plot in the command line to open the dialog box. Select the Print as Midas file printer. Select the paper size as A0. Open the Sheet Flow Manager to check the information. Created sheets in the current view window have various sizes, so they are displayed in various ways at the Measure dialog box. Since I set the A0 size output, I will print it including the corresponding size. The file format is PDF and it is merged and generated at once. Select the location to save and click OK. Output is in progress. For reference, the CTV file is set to default. Of course, user-defined CTV files can be added. The width of the sample set is 4100. This is our output PDF file. We even take a look at the PDF output function. Next, we will export to the DWG file format. Click the File tab of the main menu and click the current window of the export function. Select a location to save and click OK. You can check what is saved on the desktop. When you open this file later, you can just double-click it to open it. Until now, I have explained all the processes from drawing creation to printing and saving. This is the last chapter of the day. I will explain how to use template mode to generate a drawing. You can think of it as a way to set it up in order to express and create the drawing of the style you want more elaborately. The style like layer symbol that I want can always be set by using the template provided by software. As I explained last time, there are 3 modes of the nGen drawing program. I will explain the functions of Midas drawing, which is separated 3 modes. The CAD mode can be used as an alternative CAD like AutoCAD. It is possible to set CAD commands by user definition, and it is possible to provide basic lists and even settings. One of the biggest features of the Midas drawing is that it has a function to generate design information as a structured drawings. In the drawing mode, you can create several Eurocode-based structured drawings. It's also very easy to use. Lastly, I will tell you about the template mode in detail. I will explain the function of setting for layers, symbol expressions, and text that I want by using the template mode. When you want to display these grid symbols differently, or when you want to change the layers, and when you want to change the dimension line, I will tell you how to set it. Double-click the webinar template that has been copied in the template mode. The template has been opened. RC option is shown first and still option is shown below. The rebar option explained last month also exists below. In addition to structure templates, there are member list templates as well. When generating the member lists, those will be created as you set this template. On the still member list, text is mainly displayed, so I will not modify it. Let's go back to the webinar template. When changing into the modes, always double-click on the tree menu. Let's take a look at the template types of drawings that are created. We are going to modify the template for plan drawing in number 3 and section drawing in number 4. There is a symbol for grid block. Dimension line is also visible. The layers of the brace members are also visible. The drawing name is also set on the template. The scale is 100. Below you will find information about the layers and properties of the members. The layers are set differently according to the cut line, finish line, and hidden line for each member. Of course, if the template is modified in this part as well, when the drawing is automatically generated, the modified information will be displayed. So let's change the information about center grid block. After selecting the block in column X3, go to the Properties tab in the Worktree menu. Center grid blocks are shown in the following items. Currently, it is set to the G-axis bubble theme, so let's change it. The setting has been changed to symbol of 03 in the form of the square box. Next, let's select the dimension line and change it. Likewise, you can edit general items such as line type in the Properties window. In addition, you can modify the display format of the arrows in the arrows item. The beginning and the end has been modified in the form of the arrows. If you undo again, it will go back to the original style. In other items, you can modify various expression styles of the arrows. The following is the text item. Let's change the text to blue color. Let's change the text offset as well. You can see the change in the view window. The text style has also been changed. Let's modify the grid dimension in a different way. Now, when you generate the drawing, it will be created as you see it in the view window now. Let's check whether the drawing is output as the modified template. Double-click to re-enter the drawing mode. Select Structure Plan from the main menu and create 4 plane drawings. If you check the created drawing, you can see that the text and symbols are printed as we are set. The dimension lines has changed as well. Go back to template mode. At this time, let's modify the section drawing template. Let's modify the layer part. There is a way to modify the layer in the Properties window in the same way as before. However, I will apply the match property in different way and modify it. This drawing is my one template that collects the layers I often use in my project. Lines are set differently for all members. After selecting and copying all of them, then paste them into the drawing where the template exists. The shortcut key used at this time are Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V. Now, let's input the command line as MA so that the imported layers can be matched and the same property can be applied to the template. I will first select the purple layer and apply it to the column layer of the template. A layer has been applied to the column member. And also I will select another yellow layer and apply it to the brace. Let's also modify the grid symbol. I modified it to rhombus shape. Let's also modify the bubble in the river. Go to the drawing mode again. Let's go through the same process to generate a section drawing. If you look at the create drawing, you can see that the layers of the grid and lever symbols, columns, and braces has changed. Let's recreate it by setting it to double line as well. Likewise, you can check the revised drawing marks. So far, we have learned how to generate drawings using nGen Midas drawing for student structure. If you have any questions about today's topic, I will answer them in detail. Please contact me through email. I would like to finish today's webinar. We will also have the webinar which is regarding new version of nGen, especially in Revit interface next month. Okay, have a great day and see you next webinar. Thank you very much.